What's going on, guys? I'm sitting in the dark right now. I just want to talk about life. Sun's rising. I've been up for like the last 3 hours. A mix of like looking at some different videos and videos about focus and school and work and life. With a mix of like some political stuff, and I'm just sitting here kind of reflecting. I kind of wanted to fall back asleep, couldn't fall asleep. Sun's rising behind me, and I just like feel like I'm in like a real weak spot. I got a lot of things coming up, a lot of things I'm trying to work on. I feel like a warrior with no limbs. Like I believe I can do it. I can do whatever has to be done, but I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing to do now. And I was watching these videos. Some were like regular people, just regular people. This regular guy, I was watching his videos, not a Christian or anything, just a regular guy, and he was going through life. And at first, I have an opportunity coming up. I'm not going to go into detail about it. Those who know, but I have an opportunity coming up, big opportunity. And I was listening to this guy talk, and he did he did whatever job he had to do, and he did school. And he talked about some of those things he had to sacrifice. Two people. One guy was Asian, and he went through it, did all he had to, and then he talked about how to succeed at it. And I was like, cool, I'm going to take some of these information in. When times get very timely, I got to get it together. But then I watched a more recent video of his, and he was talking about college and if he regrets it or not. And he brought up four main points. Now, I don't remember what those points are right now. I'm not even going to try and pull them up. But overall, he mostly regretted it. I'm not saying don't go to college, but these are things I'm trying to think about, like what I actually want to do. One of the things he said was don't do things you hate. And I was like, yeah, well, a lot of things I dislike right now. Just wanted to talk about nothing and everything at the same time. The other guy I watched, he had like a bunch of videos down, but he did the same thing where he was doing work, doing school, got through it. He's 25 now, and he talks about how he's just kind of the average guy, regular guy. But he talked about some of those things that he had to find that he really cares about, and some of those things about enjoying life. And I'm sitting here, and for the last few there's like spurts of like growth that'll happen for me, where I'm like, gotta get this together, and I'll get it together, or I'm working on it, and this and that. And then like the last like week, 2 weeks, big spurt of growth. And then these last 3 hours, I'm just reflecting on what I actually want to do, because I realized with this opportunity that I have coming up, like my first thought when I had it was happy because it's a big opportunity, because I think so. It's a stepping block in my life, and I was happy. One, because it was a big step, and then two, like, okay, I don't even know, but I think the first thought I had was, this is where God's pulling me towards, and He's about to like super make me grow from everything I'm going to learn in this opportunity. He's about to boost me up. I'm going to have so much wisdom. It's one of those things I think I have as a gift. Yeah, I genuinely do believe I give mostly good advice, thanks to God. I try to give people good advice. People can decide to take it. If they don't want to take it, they don't want to take it. But I try to give people good advice. I think I can humbly say that I've been given a certain gift of wisdom to certain things. The hard part is taking that wisdom and utilizing it yourself. I'm in a lot of like physical pain right now. I'm getting back in the gym, and I've been really like destroying myself. And in my head, I'm like, it's gonna be better for the future. And I'm like, with this opportunity I have, and then school, and then gym, and then getting closer to God, I might cripple myself. That's a thought I had. I was like, and in my head, I was like, it's all right. You're gonna do this grind, and you're gonna do it. God's with you. You can do it. You're gonna do this grind. I'm trying to wrap it in this opportunity. I have time, but I'm trying to wrap it all in my head. And the last 3 hours have just been like, now I've come to this conclusion where how much do I want to destroy myself for what could be a benefit in the future? Could be, because the amount of people outside of college that end up unemployed is only growing. It has grown a lot within the last 20 years. I'm trying to think about the things I really care about and how I can get there. I want to have friends, like good friends, friends that are trying to grow every day, friends that are trying to grow each other, a real good brotherhood. And then I also want to have a family at some point. And me, I've always had this idea, not always, but I had this idea of like having a family young. And yeah, I feel like this was a moment from God to have me really think about these things. And one, broke up with my girlfriend. Well, I should say we broke up. We broke up. Um, am I hurt? Well, I it's like weird because I was, and I'm less now because God helped me through that. But there's still moments where I'm like, it was nice to have a companion. But also, without someone that I'm like envisioning for a family, my motivation kind of has moved to like the things I do, I'm doing for God. I'm doing because I know this is what God wants me to do. And I think He is gonna put some more motivations in my life. Not that I'm unmotivated, but like I'm in so much pain right now. I'm destroying myself at the gym. Lots of pain right now, physically. I'm thinking about I've been mentally growing a lot, putting myself through a lot of mental like understandings of things. Like one thing I've been realizing is when you go through this world, my brother was talking about this. You're kind of only as useful as your utilization. Like people, this world is a use world. People aren't going to give you an opportunity unless they believe that you can do something. They're not going to come to you unless they believe in you that you can do it. They're not going to take a risk on you unless they see you and see this person seems legit. And my brother was talking about this, and I was like, and then immediately I was like, big brain explosion. I was like, I have to learn all these skills. I want to learn the guitar. I got to get back into the guitar. I want to get good with the Bible. I want to learn the Bible. I want to understand more about electrical engineering. I want to get in the gym, work the body out. I want to do good in my studies. I want to start breaking into a career, getting opportunities like that. I don't want my face to be seen. Not that I'm crying or nothing, but just too many thoughts to be seen right now. And then I'm watching this video of this guy, multiple videos. Guy only has like 700 subscribers. That's how low I was going. Not low as in bad. I mean like deep into the, like I was just, the last 3 hours I was trying to go back to sleep. I couldn't do it. I have my water heating up. I have work at 8 o'clock. It's about to be 6 o'clock. It's one of those things where there's so much going on. And the answer I've come up with, I mean, I'm a Christian, right? And it's a genuine answer I believe God has given me. He's like, what do you want? And my thought after really going through was, yes, there are things I want. I want a good job. I want to make enough money where, yeah, the person I'm with, I'd like to make enough money where the person I'm with doesn't have to stress that much about it. They don't have to think that much about the bills part of it. I want that level of trust where they can be like, I trust him. He could do it. That he's going to work it out because he's following God and God's going to lead him through. I want that type of trust. But even behind all that, and then I want to get good grades in school, and then I want to build my friendships. I want to build my friendship with people that are Christians. Also people, just people in general. My phone died. Not died. Ran out of storage, which brought me to think more about just life there's so much stuff that's just so useless. Completely useless. I have all these apps on my phone that I don't even touch. And I just went through and like deleted like 7 apps, 8 apps, 9 apps. I was just like, all these apps I haven't touched in years, but every time I think, even for a second, about deleting them, there's almost a whisper like, but what if? And they're just complete time wasters. I thought I had. Oh, lights coming back up a little more. Can't be doing that. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. And sometimes and I know everybody's going through either similar or the same thing that are my age group, because they all have to grow. Like you have to. There's no choice. If you don't grow, it's just gonna go bad for you. And I've kind of had to think of the things I want to grow in. One of the guys was talking about there's so many things you can learn, but there's so many things. And this guy went to college for medical, and he went through the whole thing. Nice place, both of them. Both guys had a nice place. They went through the process, and they were just like, there's so many things to learn outside of that. Like look at all the degrees that are just completely useless. Completely, not degrees. Well, there are degrees that are useless, but I mean the classes. There are some classes where, one, you're just taking that because you think it's going to be easy. There's no real purpose in that. You're just like, it's going to be easy. Let me just get it.
It's 6 a.m. Right now, 47 degrees and sunny.
Up.
Today, it'll be mostly sunny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have an alarm set up, 6 a.m. And Google will, I have like a routine. So Google will be like, all right, do this, do this, do that. She'll start playing like some gospel music. It's a whole thing. But, yeah, everyone's going through a lot. I'm like digging so deep into like philosophical stuff. My probably my closest friends right now, probably Dominic and Chris, and they've been in the car with me enough and had conversations with me enough to know that I'm always trying to make them think deeper about like the most random stuff. We had a conversation about morality, what's good and what's evil, how we work out, and the part of that is because I genuinely believe these things that I'm thinking about are good for me. Like God's putting them in my mind to think about, and they're really good for me, and they're really good for people. And if we all just understood what's actually right and wrong, and if you don't believe in actual right and wrong, then I'm gonna just tell you the question becomes, why is rape actually wrong? I had a conversation the other day, and it wasn't a trap question, but someone said, it seems like a trap. And then I thought about it and I was like, dang, it is a trap question. But I was like, what makes things good and wrong? And someone said, what makes them good and wrong, what makes them good and bad, is people came together and decided this is wrong, this is good. And I was like, all right, so it's subjective, which means it's opinion based because people had to come together. And that means if there's no like actual law of right and wrong, which of course I believe in an actual strict right and wrong, but if everyone's right and wrong is just off their opinion, then things that are terrible, horrible, like rape or sexual assault, are those things actually wrong, or is that just your opinion? And no one likes to say it's just my opinion, because opinions are one of those things that are, so as much as I want to make the joke, that's a bad opinion. Opinions are always things that are can't really be proven false. You know, like if I like pizza and you like yes, mother, do not come yet, please. Thank you. If it's the same thing where I like pizza, someone else likes pineapple on pizza. I don't like pineapple on pizza. I'll make the joke and I'll be like, that's a bad opinion. But it's just an opinion. It's not like it's just their taste buds don't like it. So it's one of those things where if there's no certain law, then, and we kept going back to the past. My friend was like, yeah, but people together came way back when and they decided. And I was like, exactly, people. And he was like, well, no, but majority people. And I was like, exactly. Most people thought this was wrong. Therefore, now if we really go back and look into morality, I'll be honest. I mean, let's talk about slavery. A lot of the abolitionists, the reason that they were able to change people's minds was through the belief that we're all made in the image of God. Slavery is obviously was horrible for as long as it went. But a lot of abolitionists were Christian, and when they would try to convince people like, hey, this is wrong, they would say, look, in the Bible, because you call yourself a Christian, slave owner, it says we're all made in the image of God. This is not right. A lot of our morality, whether you want to admit it or not, has been built on this belief that we all have some intrinsic human value, and we don't really have any idea why. Unless you believe in God. If you believe in God, then you have a reason why, because God made us. The person who made everything around us, he made us intricately different. That's why we have this value. But besides that, to me at least, without that, where? What makes us valuable? Why is our life more valuable than human? And you could say just survival of the fittest. Dang, well, I guess anybody without limbs, maybe we should kill them off. I don't know. That's what's his name? Hitler did. That was survival. He thought his whatever was the best. It's just one of those philosophical things where you have to think deeper about what's actually good and wrong. And I think, I'm not saying everybody has to become a Christian, but you should look into figuring out what's right and wrong. Especially if you don't want to say, no, it's not just my opinion. The thing I said was, then rape isn't really wrong. It's just your opinion that it's wrong. Therefore, it's not really wrong. It's just not so great to you. Because in that same day, I heard a story called like the 731 experiment, something like that, or Unit 731, Unit 75, some Asian country where they experimented. They did these horrible experiments on people that were like Chinese. Horrible experiments. And some of those experiments involved rape. And I'm like, to them, they thought they were completely valid in what they were doing. They thought this was completely right. They thought this person's a different race. This is completely right what we're doing. Let's do this horrible act, taking this wonderful thing that's supposed to be shared between two people and abusing it, and then experimenting on them after the fact with like deadly experiments, chemical experiments. It was some really bad stuff. And I was like, to them, they thought they were good. With what makes them actually wrong? And you're like, because people suffer. And I'm like, what makes suffering wrong? And it's like, because people cry. And I'm like, what about the people that like to make other people suffer? There are people like that. What makes them actually wrong other than your opinion? Why do you feel so strongly that this is wrong? I know why I do. People don't like my answer to why I do, but I know why I do. So it's one of those questions like, why do you do? And it all ties in together into what's good and wrong. What do I want to do with my life actually? Do I want to look back 25 to 30 years from now and be like, dang, all that I did, that grinding I did, I mean, it helped in some regard, but I feel like I really didn't need it overall. Like the stuff that I gained, I could have gotten. Maybe I would have had to work a little harder, but I could have gotten. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm so young, 19. I have no idea. I have no clue. That's the worst part. And my thought for me, and I can tell you how I'm going to go through it, is I'm literally like, as soon as I get off this phone, I'm going to get my coffee and I'm just going to go into the Bible because I don't see any other solution, which I'm just like, amen for. I'm glad that's the solution I found because, yeah, I genuinely believe that's the right solution for me. And I'm going to take in whatever advice God's going to give me and try to move. And yeah, right after that, right after this, after I get off, after I have that little Bible study, I have work at 8 o'clock. Back to the grind. I'm going to go to work at 8 o'clock. After I go home, I've been cooking. I'm supposed to post a little picture. I'm feeling myself. I cooked a little meal the other day. Trying to work on watch what I eat as well. I'm actually watching all my calories. I'm like choosing things to eat that have protein and certain, like I'm trying to do all these things and balance it. I'm just like, I can't balance it without God for me. This life that's so difficult, it's feels amazing to know that there's something that made everything that's gonna help me through it. And then after that, it's gonna be complete peace and happiness in the next time, in the next moment that I'm brought back and go to the new land that's been created for us. It's been created, for the record, it's been created for all of us. It's not just created for me because I'm a Christian. It's been created for all of us. You just have to choose if you want to go there or not. And if you don't want to go there, that's the choice of free will. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. This is one of those like 3 a.m. thoughts. I haven't had one of these in a long time. I'm always thinking about things at different times, like how to grow. But this was like super duper one of those 3 a.m. thoughts of like, yo, and I have to figure out how to balance this opportunity coming up, and then I have to figure out like a genuine thought I just had, only a small thought, not a big thought, was, do I need college for what I want in my life? For what God asked me, do I need college? Just a thought. And I'm like thinking, why do I actually want to do college? And the thoughts behind that are, get the education needed for the degree in electrical engineering to move on to my better career. And also, my parents would be happy if I did it well. And I was like, but my parents have already told me, like, Jordan, if this school thing, like, you don't have to do this. And they were pushing it for a while. But then I wasn't as studious as I could have been. I was too invested in like the fun of life in like high school. But then since college has been hitting me hard, I've been like rethinking it. My parents are like, Jordan, there's other things you can do. Because it might just be that the books and the writings just aren't for you. But at the same time, now that I'm back on the grind, I'm actually doing a lot better. I'm actually getting like hundreds in my assignments. And like when I actually put my mind to it, I'm like doing it. And then it's like, dang, but I was just in this moment of like there could be something else I could do that would give me just as much of the fulfilling life, and my parents would still be so happy to see me go through these things. But also I just like I've been picking myself back up by the bootstraps and getting it together. And it's like, dang God, give me the answer, man. What's what? Like what exactly? I had this idea of girlfriend, get married, have family, go through that. Still something I'd like to do. But I'm also like not so pressed where if God says, that's not the plan I had for you, I'm actually okay with that. Like if he has something else for me, that's cool. So now I'm like super 3 a.m. And I'm literally after this gonna just get back to like the life grind because if I stop for too long, like I said, if you stop for too long, life is gonna leave you. A lot of homeless people. I don't know all the stories of homeless people, but I'm sure for a lot of people, things just kind of happen. But for also a lot of people, if they had to really be honest with themselves, they didn't do certain things they should have done. Another thing I'm trying to balance is my health. I haven't gone to the doctor in a long time. I haven't gone to the dentist in a long time. These are things that like I'm gonna have to like try and incorporate as well. Getting like at least a yearly checkup, right? Especially I'm gonna be not, and I say destroying. Obviously I'm super emphasizing destroying my body. But I am pushing my body past limits. Like I'm really sore. Like there are places that are sore where I exercised like beginning like Monday. Like Monday this week. Oh no, I did Tuesday. I did Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I didn't do Monday, so I did it Tuesday. But there are still parts of the body that I exercised on Tuesday that still have some pain, and the Tuesday is right around the corner. Monday's right around the corner. I still have like a little bit of pain. And obviously the exercises I'm doing, sometimes they'll get reworked, and maybe that's why. That's one of those things where that to me is really important. Oh my gosh, life is so confusing. And if anybody watched all this 3 a.m. thoughts where Jordan's getting a little deep, oh, no, I'm so the guy that's like, you can't do it. Oh my gosh. This is like, I'm like the ultra realist slash ultra optimist. Like I'm the guy that's like, realistically, you can find value in your life that can make you happy no matter where you at. No matter what you're at, you can find that value that's going to make you happy. You can. It is possible. That's truly something I believe in. Oh, took off my glasses. It's one of those things where, yeah, that's like the ultra realist, ultra optimist. Where I look at my friends and I'm like, seeing certain things that I noticed, I'm like, you could probably be doing a little better in this area. So can I. I'm never going as like you're doing worse than me. I'm never looking at it like that. I'm like, we can both do better. And we're our friends, so we have to try and make each other better. You know, some people I've been trying to reconnect with. One of them's gonna see it is Liam and Vinny, because I do genuinely believe in like a strong brotherhood in Christ, and those guys have showed me their fruits. And I'm like, I want to make sure I don't lose contact with these people. I want to make sure that we're there for each other, because times are going to get low for us. Where, yeah, God's going to be. Yes, mother? Not yet. Times are going to get low for us. Hold on. She's trying to come by room. It's no. Who is this? Hello. I'm having 5 a.m. introspective talks. You gotta let me talk. I'm talking to myself on the phone. Talking to my friends. I'm gonna post this.
You have your friends for real?
Huh?
You have your friends, or are you talking to yourself?
I'm talking to myself and my friends, reflecting on life.
What friends?
What friends? You can't say that. I've recorded now. I'm gonna post it on my Instagram, and my friends that are my friends that follow me on Instagram are gonna see it.
Pause there, no?
No, they can all hear you. It's okay.
Oh no, are you okay?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm good. Just a lot of life going on. Balance.
Let me hear it before you post it, please.
Maybe.
I want to hear it before you post it.
All right, I'm not saying anything
Anyway,
bad.
you gotta take these things.
There's some things I gotta go through myself.
Can you go get some laundry?
Okay, all right. It's time to go now. Thank you. Bye. That's my mom. She's great. She's great. I'm blessed to have the mom that I have, even though we'll butt heads. You know, one of those things God been working on me is butting heads a lot less, and it's been a blessing. She's been up. She's been up since she woke me up, actually. I woke up at like 3 a.m. She woke me up because she wanted me to put like a sheet on my bed. I came home mad tired, and there was no sheet on my bed. I was sleeping on the mat, just the mattress bare. And she woke me up to put a sheet on my bed, and it's like, and then she's been up this whole time. I came to, I was praying. I woke up, because I was up for a while, but I was also praying. And one of those things, I could hear her just moving. I knew she was just working. And it's like, it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m. She should be sleeping. She got work. Okay, it's Saturday. She doesn't have work, but she has an event to go to, my sister, at 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're such a blessing, but you need to go to sleep. I came to her. She woke me up. I was like, it's not a coincidence, because I was just praying for you that I wanted God to, like, show you that you need to rest. Like, you've worked. You've done it. You got to take those breaks. And she was very happy that I was praying about her. And she was like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm gonna rest in a little bit. She hasn't rested. I've been up as long as she has. She's just been moving consistently. My dad been sleeping. Well, granted, my dad goes to work at like 3:30 and then doesn't come home until 12 a.m. A little after 12. So he comes home and he's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a mad long video. Instagram only allows 60 minutes. I hope I can fit this through. That's what I looked up, by the way. I didn't try it. I'm going to like put it in separate sections. I'm hoping for the best. If you stayed through the end, I hope I didn't waste your life. But I just wanted to talk through a lot of the things I had to go to. Oh yeah, the worst part is, genuinely, is this conversation has to be like meaningful, but has to be kind of a little bit looked past, because the work can't stop. I have work today. My body's sore. Like, I'm in pain, like a lot of pain. And it's one of those things, there's a Bible verse, and granted, I don't remember the exact verse. Like, I don't remember which one it is. But Paul is speaking. And he says, rejoice in your suffering. And one of those things that means is, that's another thought, like, why is suffering bad? I'm not going to go back to that. But rejoice in your suffering, what he means is, those things you're going to go through, what I've taken it as to mean, those things you're going to go through, not that you should have a party every time something bad happens, but you should understand that these things happen for a reason. And the way you move forward after these bad things happen, you're either going to move in growth, or either stay in the same spot, or actually get worse. And if you rejoice in the suffering, as in you take these moments and you use these moments to grow you stronger, you're going to realize that these moments of suffering are for your betterment. And that's why God puts them there for you. They're for your betterment. But you have to actually grow. And you're not going to grow as perfect as you're supposed to. You're always going to be wasting time. But you do the best you can. And you have to look back and be like, am I doing the best? And let's be honest, none of us are doing the best. And we'll never truly do our best. But we should aspire to get as close to that as possible. Because what's the point of life if you're not aiming for something, if you're not aiming to do your best in this life? One of my goals is, my biggest goal is to build my relationship with God. And He's put me through a lot of these things to do that. And of course, I'm not going to be perfect at it. I'm going to be probably way worse than what God wants me to do. But I have to look and be like, all right, keep trying. Like Instagram and TikTok, it's all just such a big waste of time, man. Let's be honest, you waste so much time of your life where you could be learning a skill, you could be doing something, you could be thinking about things you value. And you just waste your time looking at all these reels that'll make you laugh for 5 seconds and then you don't care anymore. I don't want to delete Instagram because I think it's a good way for me to kind of connect with my friends on some deeper levels and just how life is going on for me and for them. But also, if new people want to follow me and I get to meet new people, that could also be useful. Networking. But I really want to avoid looking at Instagram Reels. Because I'm going to be honest, I look at these Instagram Reels, and it's not that I don't care. Like when my friends send it to me, I genuinely want to eventually get back and look at the Reels you guys sent. But there's also a part of me that's like, I know you wanted to make me laugh in this moment and you wanted to share something that was relatable. But 10 minutes of my time, because I looked at your one reel and then the reels keep going after. So maybe you sent me a reel and I thought it was great, but then I can't stop. I keep scrolling through other reels that aren't even reels you sent me. I'm not saying don't send me reels, but they're because I do appreciate you guys trying to connect with me. I really do. But don't feel offended or upset if there are times where I genuinely just don't watch the reel or I don't respond to the reel. Please, because there are times where I have to focus on my life and I can't take that minute. Such a short life. Every day is a blessing. You could not wake up tomorrow. That's one of those real questions. I've heard people say, oh, why does God allow this? And why did this happen? Why does this happen? And oh, I can't trust God because He's not there for me. You woke up this morning. How dare you? You woke up this morning. There are people that have died. You have both your parents. Oh, but I only have one parent. You have one parent. You know how many people don't have any parents? How dare you say, if you're being honest now, at least make the reason for not wanting to look for God something else. Don't make it, oh, but because I don't feel like He's there for me or this and that. Yeah, well, you didn't die today. You're speaking to me, you're looking at this video. You didn't die today. Do you feel like that you deserve to live? What have you done that you deserve to be alive? Let's be honest. If there is a creator and He made this whole place and He worked to do all this and make your heart pump the way it's supposed to pump, and you feel like, no, I deserve to live. No, you don't. What have you done? What have you done for God? What have you done for this creator that you're mad about? What have you done for Him? And really, nothing. But He's been keeping you alive. Yeah, guess what? You don't have cancer. There's people with cancer struggling in the hospital to live. There's kids with cancer. And you're old enough. And everyone's got a situation they're going through. But there's always places to look for blessings. Always. I don't care what you say. There's always places to look for blessings. Because some people are eating mud pies. Some people don't have a roof. Some people have way worse bills to pay than you. Some people thought their life was so bad they ended it. How ungrateful are we? Some people don't get the opportunity to work and grow and learn because they were born a certain way, because of unfortunate circumstance, because of the unfortunate thing of sin in life. There's a bunch of mistakes we're going to make. Don't make the mistake of taking things for granted. And the thing is, that's the thing. You're always going to take something for granted. There's things I'm not always going to realize that I take for granted. But make the effort every day to look at the things that good happen to you. I don't care how hard life's been. You have a roof, you ate. There's people that are suffering. You live in America. First world country. Is that what it is? I think it's called, I don't forget it. I think it's either first world, third world. You'll get the point. You live in America. Yeah, there's bad things over here, but you live in America. Now compare yourself to almost all the other countries. There's not many that can stand to par with the stuff you're allowed to do here and the stuff that you benefit from here. No matter what you are. There's a lot of countries where it's worse. There's some countries where there's some things that are better, but you make sacrifices. You decide, are those things worth it? Because I'm going to lose some of the things here that I didn't get over there. But yeah, being ungrateful is one of the, I guess it's one of the things that bothers me the most. Because maybe it's one of those things where you have to be super humble to know what you've been given by the people around you. Whether or not you don't have a good relationship with some people, whether or not some things have gone awry, there are benefits you've gotten from them. And you should at least in your head be like, I'm glad I at least got this because I wouldn't have gotten this even though this terrible thing happened. Because it could have been worse. It always can be worse. There's always someone in a worse situation than you. So humble yourself and realize how, I use the term blessed, but if you want to say lucky, how lucky you are. I think that's it, man. I'm going to go grab my coffee. People, listen, don't text me like I'm depressed. I'm not depressed. These are just those 3 a.m. thoughts that happen for me, they happen very rarely. I have a lot of moments where I'm thinking about growth in life. But the super, introspective on what do I want to be my purpose? What do I want to value? Those things, I don't get to have them as long form, hours of just thinking about it. Usually it happens for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but I have to get back to the grind. And I still make sure I think about those things later. But the grind of life, yeah. I'm going to make my coffee, wake myself up properly. Oh, now you see my orange shirt? Oh, nah. Wildin'. God, I appreciate you rising the sun, but I need a little more darkness. And my blue comfort here, dang. Now you just showed me up, man. I got a orange light, by the way. One is I'm going to go make my coffee, groom myself, and get ready for work. 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And you best believe this conversation will be kind of ringing back and forth in my head. I'm thinking about just all the things. There's so much. I could go on for a tangent. I was going to talk about political stuff and how, even though I care about all this political stuff, it's also just a big waste of time. I can't do that right now. This video is too long. It only allows me 60 minutes on Instagram, but I guess it's in parts now. Yeah, man. I guess last thing. Decide those things that are actually important to you. Find people that either you can make think this certain way on things that are actually important to you, or that already think that way, or people that have thought that way and have gotten successful from it, and learn from them, because there's lots of people to learn from. We're a sponge. We don't know it all. Stop pretending like you do, because you don't. And there's people that have done it the way that you're doing it and have either have made mistakes and gone down, or made success and gone up. So that lifestyle is never guaranteed. I just hit my wall with something. It's never guaranteed. So figure out what's actually important and think about it. Even if you don't know right away, think about it. And don't tell me the stereotypical stuff. Oh, I want the education. I want this and that. Think about things that are going to be lasting. Because when you're 50 years old and you've done the education and you've maybe retired, or 60 years old and you've retired, you're not going to care about the math equation you got to learn, or all the math equations you forgot about now because you wasted your time. So decide if those things that you kind of know are going to be wasted times for some things, decide if they're worth what you want. That's what I'm kind of working on right now. And I know I don't have the biggest amount of time to think about it, but I also have time. You know? In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.